Hi everyone, welcome to a Monday Rapid Fire. Let's crack straight in. We're seeing Ethereum has the giant awoken again. We've had some false starts, we've had some fake outs, but FBTC appears to be waking up, and I love it when there is a fundamental catalyst. It was always going to be the case earlier in the year. Had the Ethereum ETF looked far more likely, I was moving a lot of my funds over to Ethereum in preparation for the Ethereum approval in May, but as that became less and less likely, you could see the market kind of waning in confidence in the Ethereum and FBTC pair. It was the best way to get an idea of the confidence and the likelihood of these being approved. When the chart started going south and losing key levels, then it's kind of like an aha moment. You could also look at the Grayscale F Trust discount premium to NAV as well. All of them looked rubbish. But with the Hong Kong ETF coming in, that creates a passive bid into Ethereum for the first time in this market. Any inflows are good inflows. Market loves narratives as well. We're looking for that new big thing. But this is a big thing. This is an ETF for Ethereum. It's not for any other cryptos. Also a Bitcoin ETF, but I think it's far less news. The major capital flows are in the US. But again, Ethereum, much lower market cap, $3,000 price point, ish. That could create a lot of buzz, and Asia could get behind it quite a bit. Now, I'm not getting too caught up in this move, although it is a really nice looking move. You go to the weekly, the monthly. It's looking for an excuse to completely reverse and rip against Bitcoin. But again, I'm looking at the daily. I'm waiting for a close above the volume support, above the 200-day moving average. In this kind of area here, this wedge that's been drawn forever has just been lower highs and lower lows. But if we can close above there, then there's a high probability we're going to challenge these highs over here. Crack in there, get above into this green box, then we're off. The longer you leave it, the less risky the trade is. So if you're getting in here, you do have to manage that risk and run it with that in mind. But things are looking much, much better. Now, Ethereum, I had all these squiggles drawn for the mastermind about how I saw things going. Also had this red squiggle here with how I saw Ethereum going, prior to this point. It broke down a little sooner. It came down here. This looks like a bottom to me. Bang, 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 all along the 100 moving average here for Ethereum. It's climbed back into this descending wedge here. I'll just get rid of some of these squiggles, but broadly you get the picture. If we can close above this area here on volume and reclaim this real choppy zone, if we can get back to this high here, these local highs, we can breach this zone. We can punch up through here, break this downward trend, find that support, then Ethereum can be off, and we'll see 4,000 plus Ethereum, pretty soon. Everything looks okay. Stock RSI looks in the power zone. We've got the RSI in the midline. It's got so much room, to run up to this point. So things are looking really good for Ethereum. I'm also seeing layer 2s begin to run as well. That's a great proxy, a bit of a beta play. We're seeing, Matisse. I know a lot of people watching this will own Matisse. I've been looking at that as a proxy play here because if it runs back to the moving averages above, which kind of looks like it's about a 50% move. Arbitrum been heavily sold off. Optimism's the big runner here though. It was up 10%. As soon as Ethereum showed any sign of life, up 10%. So you got to watch those kind of flows if you're looking to really make bank on those, leverage proxy plays. We just duck on over to Bitcoin as well. People always get irrationally bearish at the bottom of a range and also get irrationally bullish at the top of a range. That is all we're doing. We are range bound. We're in no man's land here. The bias is a little bit on the bears because we kind of lost the midline, lost the 10 EMA again, closed beneath 64,000, and that's okay. We're probably going to come down and test that, 62, 61,000 here if we lose it, or we could be setting up here for a higher low. The problem I have here though is it's a lower high already formed, so it's really on the bulls here to try and push this higher. I really want to see us above, 67, let's just say 68,000 even. If we get above 64,000, I'm on alert for the reversal, but it's not assured. So again, we are in no man's land. You break below that 60,000, we're going lower. You start to get above the midpoint, you think we're going higher. So again, bias is on the bears here, I think, for that lower move. But then you've got those breakdown targets there as well. Bitcoin dominance also showing a really nice almost breakdown. We're watching it very closely. There's a massive bearish divergence on the weekly on the Bitcoin dominance chart. So if Ethereum's moving here, altcoins should follow it. And if Bitcoin's just range bound and it can hold above 60,000, this is a great environment for Bitcoin to, again, for altcoins to start to gain a bit of traction. And Bitcoin dominance just looks like it is trying to, but again, it could hold here above volume support. I'm not getting excited until it breaks down below that 53%. I think it can get a bit juicy after that point. We also have a lot of macro stuff ahead. So guys, please be aware that a lot of the stuff I'm saying here is quite contingent on what happens in the macro. We've got the Japanese yen collapsing, which can cause a whole lot of knock-on effects from the Fed and the Treasury. We've also got 2 weeks ahead of us where we have a Federal Reserve interest rate decision, FOMC, we've got core inflation coming out as well. If any of this stuff surprises to the upside, if we see right here, they're predicting a neutral, holding everything on pause, and CME reflects that as well in terms of the derivatives markets. They're predicting it's going to be a pause to a hike. If we get a hike, markets are going to nuke. I don't think we'd hold 60,000 and we will go lower, but I don't know how long for. I'm looking at funding rates, which is moderated by about 30%. I'm looking at funding rates. Looking at open interest moderated about 30%. Funding rates are all negative, which means that there's just not a lot of juice there for a big short, a big crash to the downside if I can ever get that out. Also, there's a spot premium under Bitcoin. So look, I don't know how long it's going to be there. I think a lot of this is short-term noise, but we have to be aware that inflationary figures is re-accelerating and it can put a lot of pressure on risk market. So have a wonderful day. We'll catch you again for our next session, Altcoin Bible. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.